Yes, there it is. We live. Live, lads. We talking about boxing. This 27th episode I've done. I started doing these in July. I think it was July. So we've done 27 of them since July. It's not too bad. It's been recurring. So we get a few people in here in the chat. I'm doing it as always. Doing it as always, as I always do. We talk about whatever, you know. We get a few people in the chat. We get everyone talking. We let the comments, or we let the chat do as it does. So it's called the comment section, not the comments, it's the chat. We let the chat do what it does. Yeah, that sounds perfect there. That's what I wanted. Make sure it was not muted. Believe you me, first stream I ever. About this time last year, I started streaming, and I think I still have the first stream I ever did. Oh ho ho ho! Now, they were bad streams, lads. They were bad. Jesus, they were bad streams. Fuck. I mean, I'm talking about background noise playing, not having a breeze. I was like a little. Do you know what it is? It's like the fat kid when he sees like a fucking minge for the first time. He's just like, gee, I've heard about it, but I never thought I'd see it. And it's like, what the fuck? What am I doing here? That's kind of like it is. That's kind of like how it was with me when I started out. Right. Got some people in the chat. Let's bring it up. Right. Yo, Dan, big up to you every time. Lenroy Richards versus Willie Hutchinson. Yeah, Willie Hutchinson's been looking better and better. Do you remember when he started out? He was with David Hay originally. He was promoted by Haymaker. And he was fighting on Dave. Remember looking at him thinking, I'm not too sure about him. He's actually not looking too bad. But yeah, it's shit because that Arthurs versus Yard card. I mean, just think what we could have had. We could have had Fury versus Caballel. We could have had a co-main event, Arthurs versus Yard. And then on the undercard, as well as that, we could have had Dogbay versus Conlon with this, Lenroy Richards versus Willie Hutchinson. Now that, lads, that's what you call a pay-per-view card. Obviously this ain't pay-per-view, but I don't know, man. I'm curious about what else is going to happen on this card. I think that Yard is going to beat the living crap out of Lyndon Artis. That's just what I'm thinking. I think Anthony Yard is going to beat the living crap out of Lyndon Artis. I think Lyndon Artis is tricky. He's fiddly. But he I don't know, man. Something about Artis I'm just not sure about. We bring that camera in. Let's bring it in. Let's big up a few people in the chat. We got JPK in the chat. Yes, G-Man. Big him up every single time. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. We got that trending, man. I'm putting that in the videos now. Like in the subject or in the description now. I have that. So big up to you, man. Big up to Anazar. Big up to you. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. Big up to Rich, always in the chat. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. There you go. You get that trending. I've seen that trending a lot more. A hell of a lot more than when it used to. I didn't really use that a lot when it came out first, but fuck, I've been using that a lot lately. Yeah, you got the old hashtag G-Man's rocks movement. We got Buzzy in here. Sub G-Man, missed the last 2 streams. How you doing? Hashtag G-Man's rocks. Yo, I was honestly going to do this stream a hell of a lot earlier, but it's just been a tricky enough day, so I said fuck it. I just done the Wilder video, uploaded there about an hour or so ago, and I said, no, fuck it, we'll go live. We're not going to do. I was going to do maybe like an hour and a half, and I've said it on the last 5 or 6 live streams that I'm only going to do an hour, but I genuinely, hand on me heart, and I'm only going to do about an hour or so with this one. I'm not going to be going, all kinds of everywhere, trying to fucking, get as long as I can. So we'll see how that goes. What we got here? Maybe if Frampton Herring gets made for 2021, they'll put Conlon and Dogbay on the undercard. Oh, man. I think they're going to try and rush Conlon into a world title fight. I don't think they want to take a fight with someone like Dogbay. Because Isaac Dogbay, he's very short, and you'd imagine Conlon could outbox him. But I could see him being on Conlon like a bad smell. Think of it like this, right? He was still charging forward and taking shots off Navarrete. Navarrete's better than Conlon. He hits harder. If he's still going to maraud forward, and I think he's not being trained by his dad anymore. He used to spar his dad, Dogbay used to say. And his dad's like in his 40s, So I reckon he'll be on Conan like a bad smell. He'll be on Conan like a flipping bad spell, and I can't see Conan getting through that. But yeah, that'd be an interesting night, because as you said there, like if they do Heron versus Frampton, right? I can't see anything other than the Heron win. I know Heron's not looked exactly amazing as of late, but I think, man, when Frampton fought that Darren Taylor guy, man, that's an area level fighter. He's an area level fighter, and Frampton is there struggling to get rid of him. Area level fighter, and I think he was stopped by someone else as well. I can't remember, but yeah, man, Frampton I think seen better days. We got Ben, big up to Ben. What do you reckon, Tony Yoka? How far can he go? Hoo hoo. Yoka's interesting, lads, right? Because when he came around first, right, I thought he looked kind of not shit, but I didn't see much there from him. He didn't seem all that powerful. He just seemed like a bit of a spoiler. You know, sort of way, like he actually kind of seemed like, I know maybe this is a bad example, but he kind of seemed like a better Malik Scott with a bit more pop. But lately, like I've been looking at Yoka and I've been thinking, yeah, man, he's looking a lot more. He's looking a lot more deadly. He's looking good. The only thing about Yoka is, right, you're hearing about, right, he's not failed any drugs test, but missing all these drug tests, that ain't good. And beating the living crap, but that beating the crap out of Dave Allen was bad. That was bad. Let's go, champ, top lad. Uploads and live streams in the same day. That's dedication, man. That is dedication. I do it, man. I love making videos. I love doing live streams. What more can you say? What more can you say? But yeah, I got videos planned for tomorrow as well. I'll tell you actually story, right? That Kell Brook video I done today, I think I recorded that Sunday, right? But yesterday was just hectic. Like it was a real hectic day in work. So I only had time to upload one video. I didn't have time to edit that video down. And then in the evening, I come home and I completely forgot that my living room, and some of you may have noticed the background of my last video was a little bit more clear and probably the lighting's a bit better, was getting work done on it. So I literally couldn't get into the sit room to film. So I was like, right, I'll keep that video in reserve. So I uploaded that today. To be fair, I recorded that Sunday, so I only uploaded today. It took me 5 minutes to edit that video, to be honest, which didn't take me long at all. And then I done the Wilder vid. I've been doing too many Wilder vids, lad. Arda won't lie down, G-Ban, not if Paddy or Pat Barrett is there. No, he won't lie down. He's not gonna lie down. But for some reason I'm thinking Yard will just probably, I'm thinking seriously Yard might steamroll him. Seriously. Yard might steamroll him. Forgot to big up some of the lads. Big up to Ben. Big up to Dan or Dean. Big up to JBK if I haven't already. Big up to Michael. Hey, G-Man. Hey, how are you? Let's go, champ. G-Man in the place. Peace, bro. There you go. What does that say? How's the balls of your feet? Right. What's that? Tips McGee. All right. Well, oh, man. I thought it was something fucking funny there. I was thinking, always read the goddamn comments. Good news, Big Dan. Yeah. Always read the fucking comments before you put them up on screen. Because I remember, lads, I got caught out bad with that once. Putting the comment up on screen without reading it. And I got caught out bad. Tyson Fury ain't fighting because of his eye. Have you seen the footage? That's a black thing. Reckon the cuts reopened. No, I haven't. Do please. And I haven't seen it. I seen a clip of him today hitting a heavy bag, and the heavy bag was like all over the shot. I only seen a little snippet of it, but I wasn't paying attention to his eye, to be honest with you. Man, that cut right on Fury, man, that cut was bad. If you get a cut like that, that was the thing I think everyone was basing the Wilder fight on. Like I seen loads of people. I think I might have even said it as well, that everyone was worried about the cut more so than anything else, because they knew Fury could outbox Wilder. They knew Fury would be sharper in the rematch, but everyone was like, that cut was bad. And you were talking less than 6 months between when he actually got the cut to when he was going back in there. We were thinking, I was thinking at one stage, I was like, that cut's going to reopen. I'd imagine, yeah, it's probably something like that did as well, where he probably took 1 or 2 shots in sparring, probably got, the cup probably did probably reopen, and it was just like, shit, what do I do now? So it might have been that. But man, I reckon Shirley Finkel and Al Heyman and that absolute little squirt JD is like, look what we said. The special one says, Jose Mourinho, do you think Wilder has brain damage? I don't think Wilder has brain damage. I think he's just a fucking idiot. All right? I'm not trying not to swear that much on this stream, so I might be able to monetize it. But I think he's just an absolute idiot. I think the man has just been gaslighted. He's had the LDBC talk absolute muck about all kinds of dumb shit. Like if you've heard some of the excuses the LDBC were coming out with, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous, some of the shit that they're saying. And he's listening to all that. He's listening to that little child of a little brother of his who absolutely just, I mean, like that knockout, right? I watched that knockout again against Dustin Long, right? And I mean, like, to say that shot was not a hard shot and it was innocuous, that speak, man, he literally, right? He fuck he literally, right, done nothing for 5 rounds in that whole fight. I think it was 4 or 5 rounds he went, right? He didn't throw a punch. I think he landed like what, about 8 or 9 shots all in all. And Marcellus Wilder, they weren't hard. He throws like an arm punch, and literally lands there. Man was down. Like, the lad has it. Like, people say Amir Khan's chinny. I'm sure if Amir, now obviously not a cruiser, but I'm sure if Amir Khan was hit by a shot like that at welterweight, by a welterweight journeyman, even he would be like, I can take that. But Marcellus Wilder, absolutely. And this is a guy who wanted to have a bare knuckle straightener with Tony Bellew. This is a guy who punched Dominic Brazil behind the head. Oh man, that people say Wilder's bad. I mean, it must run in the fact he's worse. He's way worse. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, he is way worse than Deontay. It's not even close, man. Wilder's top 5 opponents, he's got random shit opponents in there. Yeah, he had what was it? He had Dylan Whyte. I'll get the top 5 opponents now, actually, because I actually haven't finished. I haven't even started recording that video. Where is it? Fucking load. Oh yeah. So his number 1 pick, right? Yeah, it is weird, right? So his number 1 pick is Dylan Whyte. Then he wants Andy Ruiz if he can't get that. Then he wants Robert Helenius. I mean, God knows why he wants Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius, really? And he has him ahead of Joseph Parker and Alexander Usyk. Where's AJ? Where's AJ named in that? All right, because I think that list was saying if he can't get the Fury trilogy fight, these are the top 5 opponents. Why is Robert Helenius in his list of top 5 opponents and Anthony Joshua isn't? Wilder he don't want smoke with AJ. He doesn't want that. Wilder definitely he does not want that. He does not want that. No way, he does not want that. So Robert Helenius is your 3rd choice. I mean, really, Robert, were they all PBC? No, they weren't. But Robert Helenius is your 3rd choice. Joseph Parker is your 4th choice. Joseph Parker versus Wilder would be actually a decent little scrap, I think. I could see Parker causing some issues there. And then against Alexander Usyk, I mean, geez, I think he's got a better chance against AJ than he does against Usyk. Devon Sinclair, big up every time to Devon Sinclair. Love seeing you guys pop in. Like I said, if Hatman's not doing the Tuesday live streams, I'll take over the ropes and I'll sort you all out. I'll sort you all out. Just a fucking idiot that cracks me up. That's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is. Jesus, man, that is exactly what the man is. It is. Do you know what, right? It's kind of funny, though, when you start, like, really, like, piecing it together and having a look at it. The absolute crap he comes out with. And, like, people actually believe that, like, I mean, like, what this year has taught me one thing is that people are pretty gullible. I think that's fair to say in certain aspects. But there are people out there who, like, genuine, like, they can't make this shit up. And like the Glovegate thing is just the funniest because you had all these channels coming out like saying, "Yeah, look at Fury's glove. You know that's why he was hurting Wilder," and they were showing the first fight where he never hurt Deontay Wilder, and they were like, "A glove's not meant to bend like that. Look at this. Look at this." It's like, mate, that's the first fight, and then they had to keep face. So they were saying, "Yeah, he dodgy gloves on in the first fight." It's like, mate, we're nearly like what? By the time you actually started reporting on the first fight, we were nearly what, like 16, 17 months removed from the first fight. Why you wait until he lost to start saying it instead of just saying it now? Wilder's turned into Jermaine Taylor. Oh, Jermaine Taylor, man, he was that's what happens when you get knocked out badly a couple of times. He was really going. I I think that he was starting to show signs that he was not really there in around the Crawford fight when he lost that. But that knockout that he suffered against Arthur Abraham, that was bad. That was really, really bad. That was a really bad knockout. I think that really did. That done something to him, I think. Like that knockout. Remember that knockout? That was bad. And I think as well as that, both those knockouts, I know the Froch one wasn't as bad in terms of like the concussive effect of it, but both them came in the 12th round as well. So like he'd gone through the whole hardship of the fight. But yeah, Jermaine Taylor won an IBF title back in 2014. I think he beat Sam Solomon for that. And I think that's how Lemieux ended up getting his title. And even then, he was still getting in trouble and going, oh man, it was crazy. And Jermaine Taylor, he had talent. Like middleweight he should never really have gone to 160 pounds or 68 pounds. Middleweight was his best weight. Lads, I'm just switching the fire off. You know, every time I stream, I put that goddamn fire on, and every single time I end up switching it off after like 15, 20 minutes because the thing is so goddamn hot. Yeah. So we go and catch up on some of these. Yeah, I want to big up. Yeah, thanks for that. Love that. Big up G. And he's got Thai FL, big Thai and boot. Coogan's number one troll. Thai and boot, number one troll, the Coogan Cassius. Coogan Cassius, fuck. Is your dad keeping you up at night? And it's just so cringy. Like the man has not got a career. He does not have a career in voice acting. I tell you that much, or anything like that, or talking over. Is your dad keeping you up at night? Is your dad keeping you up at night? Oh man. What did Tyson Fury do to Wilder? This is more than just an ass whooping. He turned Wilder into a female. Man, no, no, to be fair, Wilder'd been saying some weird shit prior to the Tyson Fury fight. Do you remember when he said he wanted to have a baby because he wanted to experience childbirth? Yeah, he's been off for a while now. And there's no real excuse for Wilder. Like when we talk about Jermaine Taylor getting going off the rails a bit, you could be like, well, yeah, you know, he took a few beatings, he took this. But I don't really see any. There's no excuse for Wilder. I mean, like he said, he wanted to have a baby so he could experience childbirth. I mean, that's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up. And when we saw the little clip of him during the summer twerking, I mean, Jesus, that was just fucking ridiculous. You could see fears in Wilder's eyes in that fight. Yeah, and he won't admit it. He won't admit that he's a fucking. He doesn't want that trilogy fight. No way in hell. The man knows he got beaten, right? Man knows he got beaten. Man knows he's been beaten twice by the guy. The guy's fought two different ways, and he can't fight any other way. And man, he ain't gonna. Man, Deontay Wilder knows he can't beat Tyson Fury, in my opinion. But he's got Shirley Finkel, Al Heyman, and that little squirt JD is pulling all the strings and saying, nah, Deontay, you fight him, you can beat him. At the end of the day, they'll be cashing them out like Tyrell Biggs. And there have been other cash outs in boxing as well. There have been others as well. That's the one that comes to my mind when I think of cash outs, though, with Biggs against Tyson. What's your favorite biography or autobiography? I love Andy Lee's book. I read that last year. Andy Lee, great autobiography. Who else have I read? I've read Lennox Lewis's. I've watched a couple of documentaries. Documentaries are more so kind of what I watch. Two best two best boxing documentaries I'd recommend are Unforgivable Blackness, Jack Johnson's story. That's really good. One or two things are a little bit inaccurate with what they report, but just watch it. Really, really good documentary. And Assault in the Ring. Assault in the Ring be my favorite. Go watch that fight. They want to talk about loaded gloves. What one? They weren't loaded, but you want to talk about glove tampering? Watch Assault in the Ring. That is what can really happen if your gloves are tampered with. You know, Billy Collins got his whole career, got his whole life destroyed by I think his name was Louis Ritzton, I think was the guy's name. He was trained by Panama Lewis, and they took like little bits of padding out of the glove. So that was on a Top Rank show as well. And Louis Ritzton was not noted as a puncher at all. He was a journeyman, basically. And he was trained by Panama Lewis, went in there, and he put a beating on Billy Collins for 10 rounds, like really beaten bad, and done so much damage to his face. But this was a guy who I think had like 20-something fights, right? Ritzton did. He like 20-something. He basically, I think he had like 6, 7 knockouts in those 20-something fights, and they were his wins. I think he had like 8 or 9 losses. And yeah, basically, he beat the crap out of Billy Collins. Billy Collins' eyes were destroyed, and he had to retire because he constant blur vision, I think. And yeah, basically, that led to him going a bit crazy, and he died in a car crash, which was sad. He was only 22 years old, which was sad. But that's a good documentary. Wilder versus Jarrell Miller is the fight I want to see. They have a backstory, millions of excuses for. Yeah. Oh Jesus, man. Fuck that Jarrell Miller's a fool. Don't like, man, that Miller lad, a fucking fool. Don't like him at all. Don't like him at all. He's gonna box again, you know that. He'll eventually find a way to get back in the ring. But man, that Miller is a fucking fool. We got Buzzy get thoughts on Maloney or Franco Maloney robbery. Man, that was bullshit. I touched on it in the live stream on Saturday because someone asked me about, or Sunday, someone asked me about that. And they were like, why didn't you talk about the fight? And I was like, well, I talked about it in the live stream, but fuck, that was bullshit. What happened there? That was bullshit. He landed punches, landed like 6 jabs, swelled the eye up. I mean, that would be that's like saying Denzel Bentley and Heffron on Friday. That's like saying that the swelling that was clearly caused by right hands was caused by a headbutt. Fucking crazy. You need to give Terence Crawford's power more respect. Now, I've always said he's respectable power at welterweight. I've always said that. I've always said that, you know, he's not feather fisted. I'm not saying that he's like, in terms of like Keith Thurman and, you know, guys like who were around like Lucas Matisse when he was around at welterweight, they would hit harder. But I'm not saying Crawford's feather fisted. I think he's got very respectable power there. Very respectable. I wasn't expecting, I'll admit it, I was not at all expecting for him to win in that kind of fashion, to be fair, against Kell Brook. I don't think anyone really was. I think that all took us by surprise. Oh, I read that already. I thought I hadn't already read that. Sorry, man. If I read that already. Yard versus artist competitive yard smashes. I might only go a couple. He can be fiddly. He'll be fiddly for a few rounds, though. He'll be fiddly for a few rounds. If Artis gets yard respect with his power, he's in for a long night. I don't think Lyndon Artis is that necessarily a harder puncher, though. I think it's more he's just rangy. Like he hit Dex Spellman a plenty and never, but Dex Spellman seems to have a decent enough chin because the yard stoppage was it wasn't great, but he'd only been out a few weeks before. Top Lad, oh yeah, I think I read that, but yeah, uploads and live streams in the same day. That's what you call dedication, son. That's how we do it. That's how you dedicate. I mean, you gotta keep going. I was like, I was when I do his live stream about 8 o'clock, and I was like, nah, man, it's a shit day. I've had a shit day. I don't want to do a live stream. Then I was like, nah, I want to do a live stream. Fuck it, I'll do a live stream. Do you think Crawford could consider going to Matchroom? Surely he's to go to PBC. Well, I mean, like, to think about like this, right? What does Crawford want? Does he want legacy or does he want money? And that I know he could get both at PBC. But say Bob Arum doesn't re-sign him, and say Eddie Hearn offers him like a 3-fight deal, and it's like significantly more money with the zone than he'd be on for PBC. I'm sure he'd go to PBC. I'm sure he'd go to Eddie Hearn if it was financially viable. you know. But if he really wants these legacy fights, like against Spence and all that, and I don't know how like that's a big fight, or it was anyway. You got to sign with Al Heyman. I'd be surprised if he's got a year though. But you see, here's the thing, right? Unless Crawford can find a way to get out of that contract early, he's contracted with Bob Arum until October 2021. So is he gonna just sit it out and then sign up for sign with PBC, or is he actually gonna go and keep fighting? But who is he gonna fight? And he's not getting any younger, so you got to worry about Crawford in that sense. You saw a video on a story a few days ago. His eyes looking worse than Lovejoy's resume. Oh man, nothing can look worse than Christopher Lovejoy's resume. Man, nothing is gonna look worse than Christopher Lovejoy's resume. Man, that guy, he fought himself. He lost 50 pounds, gained 50 pounds, and then he lost another 50 pounds in a matter of 3 weeks. Yeah, man, that guy's resume is full of shit. Deontay Walton, man, I just go back to that comment. What resume is fucking funny, because that guy's resume is absolutely fucking garbage. That guy's resume is absolutely. It is quite funny when you actually when they announced him, and me, Mark Dell, and Intangible done that stream where we had the 4 of us on going over that resume. That was funny as fuck, because I've seen bad resumes, I've seen bad, padded resumes, but I never seen anything like that. I mean, that was funny as fuck. Deontay Wilder needs mental help. he needs a brain transplant. He's dumb. Man, Wilder's resume is absolutely fucking criminal. Oh no, not Wilder's resume. Fucking Lovejoy's resume is criminal, but Wilder needs fucking mental. He needs help. He needs to just stop listening to these fucking idiots. And Wilder's, yeah, he is. He's an absolute. He's a contra boy. He's a contra bumpkin. He's like I've done the impression once already. I'll do it again. You ever see The Simpsons? The guy's name, I think, is Ox. He was one of Grandpa Sip's World War II colleagues, and he talks. There, we thought you was dead. I think we should, take that fight, and that's kind of what goes on in Wilder's head. Like there's a little rabbit on a wheel in there somewhere, but he takes breaks every now and again. That's Wilder in a nutshell. Do you think if Lomachenko goes back down to 130, he will end up carrying down the power he gained at 135? In my opinion, he gets harder. Then at 130, no, I think that Lomachenko will still have power at 130. He's got respectable power down there, definitely. I think he's got very respectable power at 130 and at 135. I just think that, I'd be honest with you, he wouldn't be really cutting that much weight to get down to 130 or to 130 anyway. So he should be fine with that. Don't get the glove thing. It's literally a horsehair glove. Don't what people don't understand about that. Man, it's just people trying to look for any reason to give it an excuse, to have an excuse. The same thing happened with Canelo, with Alvarez when he wears Everlast MX. It happens with a lot of fighters, so I don't get why he has any legs. No, it doesn't. So go and look at Michael Hunter versus Povetkin. Povetkin had Everlast MX gloves on, and look how deformed they were in that fight. Seriously, just look how deformed they were. And no one's querying that. Like if you Google that, you'll see how deformed it is, and no one's querying that. That's what happens with horsehair gloves. Like the whole point of a horsehair glove is they're not fully made of foam, so they will get deformed. Goes without saying. So Glovegate is just people clutching at straws. That's all it is, Tony. That's all it is. They're just reaching, they're clutching at straws, and Fury and Asia are the only A-level fighters now with division. The only A-level wins they have is Klitschko, Wilder, Whyte, Povetkin, Ruiz, and Parker are B-level. They're definitely not as good as the rest, I'll say that. Wilder versus AJ back in 2018 would have been interesting, I think. But right now, he's not calling out. He's not calling for Anthony Joshua. So, because obviously he gave his top 5 and AJ was nowhere to be seen. As in, like, top 5 fighters who he'd want to fight. AJ was nowhere to be seen. Wilder beats everyone except the top 2, I must admit. No, I don't think he does. I think he beats most of them, to be fair. But I think he fights Usyk, he's losing to Usyk. I'm picking Usyk to beat Deontay Wilder. Are you confident in the Canelo fights this year? Well, he's set to announce his return. Now, whether it be December 19th or not, I don't know. But he's set to announce his return now. What time are we at? We're at 10 o'clock now. So in the next hour. I'm probably not going to be on come 11 o'clock, but he'll be announcing his return then. I reckon he's going to announce it against Callum Smith, lads. That's what I'm reckoning. I'm reckoning he's going to announce a fight against Callum Smith because he's not getting. I hope to God that I'm right and he is announcing a fight against Callum Smith, and we don't end up hearing, fighting Anthony Yildirim or someone shit like that. I really hope that doesn't happen. Seriously, I really hope we don't get that. They wouldn't do it. They're going to do the Callum Smith fight, I think. I hope anyway. Get the feeling these wild excuses have been staged to generate interest in the third fight. No, I don't see it. I don't see it because I'm none of us are really. I'm not interested in the third fight at all. And irrespective of the excuses, I still wouldn't be interested in the third fight, to be honest with you. So I think that this is just Deontay Wilder. Like, I mean, the man was so wrapped up in just him and some of the fucking like the crap he was coming out with, that he can't accept the loss. That's all I'm thinking it is. He just can't accept the loss, and that's why he's going to lose again. How many likes we have? We got 46 in the chat and only got 24 likes. If you could smash the like, I'm not going to ask much. I'm not going to ask for it much, but just if you could smash the like button, peeps, I'd really appreciate it. 46 in the chat, only 24 likes. Did I read that? No, I didn't. Don't think AJ and Fury are the only level fighters. The same way Fury came out of nowhere to beat Klitschko, you can see the likes of Hrgovic, Usyk, Yoka causing some kinds of problems. Usyk was man, or not Usyk. Yoka's a strange one because I think he's getting better and he's making more believer out of me than he was when he turned pro. Definitely, I wasn't thinking much of him before he turned pro. You're pretty sure Wilder strangled the prostitute. Jesus Christ, Dan. I don't think I finished that sentence. I might be all right with that. Well, God, he did strangle someone. No, you're right, didn't he? Though he got into like an altercation years ago with some girl, didn't he? And he ended up doing some damage to her, didn't he? I remember that. That was years ago. That's before he was world champion, wasn't he? I remember that actually. I remember that. The debate this debate is one worse than Usyk versus Gassiev, all 4 belts. Yeah, man. The Glovegate situation is, Wilder. I think Ken Doherty's lazy. Demeanor. I think I'm probably demeanor. I don't know what this, but Ken Doherty anyway, peeps. Yeah. Wilder would still beat Dylan Whyte for me. I hate David Hayes' comments he always says for all the marbles. Yeah. Man, David Hayes is not a great pundit, to be fair. He's not a great pundit. He's better than Bellew. Oh, he's much better than Bellew. Ken Doherty playing well lately. Yeah, he is. He is. I remember an interview from years ago with Wilder where he said he's terrified of losing and being humiliated. He said he would retire if that happens. Try and find it. If you could find that, man, I would. Man, that would be. I'd love that. I'd love to see that. I'd actually love to see. I'd love to see him say where he said that, because he has backtracked. Because that literally happened. He's backtracked on that. He has backtracked on that. Mike Tyson was the cash out versus Lewis. Who was always going to beat him up. Yeah. Looking back retrospectively now, that was a cash out. Looking back retrospectively now, he had one good round in him and barely one round in him, and that was it. I made a mistake. Usyk should be there. Yeah, Usyk is a top fighter. Assault in the Ring, LOL, really? Yeah, no. Assault in the Ring is the name of the documentary. Brilliant documentary. Go and watch it. If anyone's not seen Assault in the Ring, I recommend you go watch it. It's a very good documentary. Very good. I think it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours long, but it's good. It's good. That and Unforgivable Blackness, the rise and fall of Jack Johnson. They're my two favorites. It would actually be smart to take Whyte because he could smoke him badly. Yeah. No, actually, to be fair, it would actually. When you think about it like that, it would actually be fair because he would get a good win and it might get people talking about him again. Seriously, it would. Devin Sinclair says that you feel people sleep on contenders, not with big followings or huge wins on their resume, overlook their skill and ability and how they match up. Man, and Darren said here, the first name he's put up here is Michael Hunter. Exactly. I mean, Eddie Hearn kept promoting Dave Allen, who's now retired, right? Who's now retired because he got battered in sparring by Alexander Usyk. And he didn't, and he doesn't keep Alexander. Oh, man. And he doesn't keep him. I just don't understand it, man. It's just, that's just ridiculous. I just don't understand that. And yeah, like someone like Michael Hunter would get overlooked because he's small, he's not as big, he's not as powerful, but he is still very good. Hunter would give AJ big trouble, for example. Yeah, I think Hunter would as well. Man, Hunter's going to be a problem for these heavyweights. I'm telling you that now. He really will. Maloney was the worst I've seen as a decision. Yeah, it was bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Eddie was saying he didn't think Conor Ben, but he has other bollocks. He hasn't proven anything. I was saying I didn't think Conor Ben had, but he has other bollocks. He hasn't proven anything. Conor Ben's not proven shit. I'm picking against Ben in this fight, lads, by the way. I'm picking against Conor Ben in this fight. I'm not. I think Stephen, or is it Stefan, whatever his name is, Formella is going to win. I seen Intangible there in the chat earlier. Where is Intangible? I want to big him up. Big up to Intangible every time. Kamil Sakalowski. I think you had a comment in there earlier. But Kamil Sakalowski, good journeyman. Very good. There he is. There you go. Big up to Intangible every time. Go and check out Intangible's channel if you can. Him, Big Dan, a few others. We got Helen Boston in here. Dan Boxing is all over the place. Yeah, it is, man. Boxing has been all over the place for a while. I see we got Broken Nose in the chat. Where I get one of his comments up now. There we go. Oh, yeah. 2.93 subs. Not long now until the big K at G-Man. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. That's what you go for. Yeah, 2.3. How many do I have now? Yeah, I think I have 2,933 exactly. So 3K before Christmas. I was going to say before the end of the month, but that maybe won't happen. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. But yeah, we definitely go. We definitely getting 3K soon, which is crazy. 33 likes, that's what it is. So we got the likes up. That's the main thing. 53 in the chat, 33 likes. There you go. But yeah, big up to Broken Nose Boxing, by the way. I think you're on, what is it, 320 now? 320 subs. So if you could go over, give his channel a look at, make some good videos. You uploaded the video today. I've seen that. So if you can go over to him, man, big up to him every time. Big up to you, Broken Nose. And we've got E-Machine, big up to you, my friend. Big up every time. The Big Cactus, hey G-Man, what's good? It's been good. It's been good. It's been good, man. It's been good. It's been okay. Today was a bit of a tricky day, but it is what it is. How are things at work, bro? How are things at work? Do you know what, actually? It's funny, right? They are actually getting better. Because I'm on a different team now and it is a lot more laid back, which I'm enjoying. I am enjoying that, but you know, I would love to do, like I've said it before, like I would love to do this full time or do something like journalism, like when I go on TalkSport or something like that. I'd love to do that full time, but there's something in that job that I need to stay for, and once that's sorted, then we can look at going like Bane said in Batman, time to go mobile. Big up every time to Fast Shoot. I hope I'm saying that right. Big up for the super chat. I appreciate that, man. Really, really do. Thank you for that. I appreciate that every time. Big up. Thank you so much for the super chat, man, my friend. Thank you. I missed a load of comments. So we're going to go back to some of these comments and read them because I don't want to leave people out. What do you think of Wilder calling out Dylan Whyte? I don't think when Wilder says, the only time I pay attention to something Wilder would say, and he's never going to do this, would be if he came out and said, you know what, I actually do want the Fury trilogy fight. I fire JDs. I'm going to bring in someone like Buddy McGurk. I lost that fight fair and square. I mean, he's not going to do that, obviously. I'm reaching when I say that. But I'd love it if he said something like that. I'm reaching if I do think it's that. Hashtag G-Man's rocks. There you go. Kel Brook and I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Eating can't. Oh, Jesus. That show, man, I've never, ever, 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 ever watched it. I've never, ever, ever watched it. I know someone who does, and that might be bad news for me because it might mean I might have to. Eddie was saying in IFL he won't be paying big bucks for Crawford. Oh, well, then I can't see Crawford going to Eddie Hearn then. Yeah, Crawford's going. He is PBC bound if ever I seen it. Man is PBC bound. Crawford Spence needs to happen somehow. I hate the fact money is ruining these legacy fights. Well, to be fair, lads, to be fair, it wasn't technically money that ruined. Well, we might not have had it, but like Errol Spence decided to drink drive, crash his Ferrari, get fucked from the Ferrari, and then a certain thing, you know, don't want to get pissed off, so I'm not going to say what it is, happened, which didn't help it. But hopefully we can get that fight going. I hope we can. I want to see it, man. I'm always said it. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm thinking Crawford wins that fight. I really hope we get to see. I think, irrespective of how Spence looks against Danny Garcia, I think Crawford will win that fight. Well, yeah, we had 64 in the chat and only 38 likes. Peeps, if you could smash the like, I won't ask again. But it's nice, man. 64 in the 65 in the chat now. Big up to the lads. Jesus. Devon Sinclair. He's talking to Devon Sinclair. What is the situation with Crawford Aram? Do you think we're going to see promoters let fighters go who are not cash cows? I feel even if Loma dominated. Yeah. Honest to God, yeah, I think we could see something like that. I think that, like, look at Bob Arum, right? He was coming, like, this Bob Arum saw his fighter Terence Crawford go in there, right? Do a job on Kell Brook, and he started saying that he could buy a house in Beverly Hills for the amount of money he lost on Terence Crawford. To be fair, right? This was behind closed doors. I was going to lose money. If you want to recoup some of that money, do you know what you do? As far as I was aware, Nebraska, where Crawford's from, they're still allowing fans, right? So, Jesus, 75 in the chat. Big up, lads. Thank you. Holy shit. They were still allowing some fans in. You might get something back if you've done it there instead of doing it in Vegas and have absolute jokers, calling a fucking punch a headbutt. Crazy. You're criminally underrated. You have fools like Bellew being boxing commentators, a pay-per-view like you can't. You're my favorite. Man, big up to Brian Walsh every time, man. I love hearing comments like that. Man, I love seeing comments like that. Big up to you every time, Brian, man. Big up. What can you do? Like, I mean, Bellew sold pay-per-views for Sky. Bellew beat David Hay. Bellew's done a lot, like, to big up the Sky brand. So they're giving back to him by giving him a job commentating. So that's just, unfortunately, that's just the way it is, right? Now, irrespective, as I've said, I'm adamant with this, right? And I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'm telling you now, I do it. Irrespective of whether I want to be a commentator or not, whether I want to work with someone like Sky, I'd love to. I wouldn't do it right now. If they offered me something tomorrow, I wouldn't take it. I have my reasons why, but I wouldn't do it. Not right now, but eventually, yeah, someday we'll get there. 81 in the chat. Holy shit, man. This chat's come to life. What is up, people? Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Let's get your questions in. What we talk about? We're talking about everything, by the way. We talk about Wilder. Shoot the questions in, and I'll make sure to get to all of them. Actually, Wilder is actually the hardest puncher in boxing history. I listened to Blue Balls. Jesus Christ, man. Wow, man. Everyone's saying Wilder is crazy and all, but he's now the favorite to fight Fury next. Yeah, that's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. That, like, you can let the contract run out, you can keep quiet for all this time, and it's just the minute they decide to move on and go for something better, fucking this happens. It's bullshit. That's what Devin says. G-Man not here to take part. G-Man here to take over. That's it, bro. That's 100%. I'm not here to take part. I'm taking over. I'm taking over Sky. I'm taking over BT. You get G in there. I believe you me, right? Believe you me, I could have had loads of fighters on this channel before. Considering, like, I know channels around Ireland, right? And I'm not talking about Mark. I'm talking about way small, who've been at this longer, who haven't even got 300 subs, and they can get, like, fighters interviewed. I'm like, damn. I'm gonna get, man. I'm in a good position. Kel is surely retiring. And someone asked, what's next for Kel? Bad houses, maybe. No, I hope to God he retires. There's nothing left there. There's nothing left there. You got banned on Sky Sport. What? You got banned on Sky Sports about Harley Quinn. Oh my God. You actually tweeted that on Sky and they banned you. You called him Harley Quinn and they banned you. Oh my God, man. That is funny as shit. What's your thoughts on Hrgovic versus Hunter if it happens? I really don't know which way to lean. On one hand, I think Hrgovic is ready. On the other hand, I think Hrgovic penalty sky high. Right. I think Hrgovic is very good, but I think his feet might be a little bit too slow. So I would maybe I would, yeah, I'd sign with, I'd go probably with that Hunter, Michael Hunter. Holy shit. 91 in the chat now. Oh man, I know, lads. You smash the like button on the way in. Appreciate that. Where are all these chats coming from? 91 in the chat. Considering, right, this time Sunday, I think I had like 40 in the chat was the max. Now we're getting the 91. Could we hit 100 in the chat? Could we actually get 100? We're 7 off getting 100 in the chat, man. And I'm missing a few of the regulars. I wish some of the regulars were in. You think Khan and Brooks should both retire, good careers, but boxing is not a sport to play with when you've lost ambition. You see, Khan is lucky. He has those gigs out in Saudi Arabia. Like, he could easily probably do another gig in Saudi Arabia next year. He fought Billy the Kid Dib. Billy the Kid Dib's last fight after Khan, like his actual last fight, I think was back down at 130 or 135. You're getting paid like 7 figures to fight that. I mean, like, Jesus, man. Gonna need to put slow-mo in the chat soon. Man, I make sure to get all the questions in. All right, I make sure to get all the questions in, man. My new favorite channel, G-Man. It's hashtag G-Man's Rocks. And in case anyone wonders, I'm popping it in the chat then. All right. In case anyone wants to know, that is a staple of this channel. That is the staple of this channel. Hashtag G-Man's Rocks. You get that trend. It's in the description of all my videos. It's everywhere. Has Canelo announced yet? No. He's going to announce at 11 o'clock UK time, right? He's going to announce at 11 o'clock. He did. Oh, man. He actually announced hashtag G-Man's Rocks in a tweet. Fuck. Big. I don't want to knock the laptop, but big up. I'd clap if I had my spare hand because I'm holding the laptop on it. But big up, man. Fair play. Big up to that. If you build it, they will come. That's a great saying. You know, big up the hat man. Big up the hat man with that saying. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And I agree with that. I think that's 100% spot on. If you build it, they will come. I'm just curious as to where, like, I'm just not used to having a chat explode like this, you know, on my own anyway. But big up to everyone. Big up to hashtag G-Man's Rocks, man. And I think, go back to what Devon was saying there, like, that's in every aspect, man. Like, I've noticed that in certain other things that I'm trying to do. There we go. Bang on over 103 in the chat. Big up to everyone in the chat. Let's see if we can smash the like button now. I'm asking one more time. We got over 100 in the chat. So, peeps, if you haven't already, you could please smash the like button. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. At the think, right? At the start of this evening, about 8 o'clock, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do a live stream. I'm fucking delighted I did. Fucking delighted I done a live stream. Fucking ecstatic I did. New sub, by the way, G-Man. Ah, man, big up to Dan every single time. Thoughts on AJ Pulev when it happens? Man, I'm thinking that AJ is going to steamroll him. Seriously, I think AJ is going to steamroll him. I think Pulev might see AJ might just have a look at him in the first round and just think, okay, maybe he's a bit fiddly, but the minute he steps on the gas, Pulev is going to get sparked. Man, he's going to get lit up. I can't see that fight lasting. Like, look, Will Strokes, and big up to Will. He says he has AJ in 5. I'm serious. I'm more inclined to go with young Tash. I'm going with AJ in 3. I seriously think it's going to be AJ in 3. AJ in 3. How do you, hey G-Man, what's up, mate? No. How do you think MMA is slowly taking up boxing and other martial arts? Well, I wouldn't really know, man, because I'm not a big MMA fan. Like, I'm a proper casual MMA fan. Like, so when I say proper casual, I'm fucking proper casual, right? Seriously, proper casual. What's up with boxing? So many potential matchups and nothing happening. Canelo was been rumored to fight 10 fight. I think they're just waiting for that to, like, I think they're just waiting to get the right opponent. Like, there's broken nose boxing. And by the way, lads, right? Whilst I'm here and I have yous here, what I'm going to do is, right, because I'm all for looking after some guys who've been cool and got good channels. Gotta leave like a couple of channels links in the description here. Gonna leave yours broken nose because we've got 110 people in the chat, right? So for all the people in the chat, if you could go, and I'm asking just a small favor, go give Chris, that's his name, Chris's channel a look at. And we got other guys in the chat here. We got Intangible. I'll get his channel now in 2 secs. Go give his channel a look out because these are good guys. They've been in the chat. We gave their channels a little shout out. So 1 sec. Give both their channels a look there if you don't mind, right? So looking out for some of the lads. Big up to you guys. You picked AJ in 3 too. Man, I'm convinced it's going to be AJ in 3. Convinced it's going to be AJ in 3. Klitschko was not naturally aggressive fighter and he dropped Pulev like in a minute. Yeah, man, and Pulev's never recovered Intangible. Pulev, the minute he's never fought, right? Looking like this, he's never fought a puncher. Since then, right? Who has he fought that could bang? And some people were saying after Hughie Fury fought him that, you know, Sam Peters can punch. Man, Sam Peters, right? Those punches are so slow, and they don't have power in them. So don't give me that with Sam Peters. Hell to the no, ain't no Sam Peters, right? If AJ jumps in like a crazy person like he did with Reese, no, I don't think he will. Honest to God, I don't think he will. I don't think Pulev has that power to knock AJ out. Maybe he could buzz him with, yeah, he could buzz him, but Pulev is not a counterpunch. Well, he boxes well on the back foot, but the minute that gets anywhere near close, like Jay below here says, Pulev is made for AJ, but AJ will have fear getting inside Pulev's jab. That's going to be the hardest part for AJ, is getting inside Pulev's jab, because Pulev has a great jab. But the minute that fight gets in close range, like I said earlier in the chat, right? Pulev is like a fat kid looking at a fit girl, right? He hasn't a breeze what to do. He's just sitting there like, I'm out in my fucking depth here. So once he gets inside, he won't know what to do. That's what I'm thinking. Graham Taylor subbing to Intangible. Big up, big up. And Big Intangible does have a great channel. Where was that? Lucky shot will be here right now. But Intangible does have a good channel. So big up to those guys. And if I get a minute, I'll stick a few of the other lads in as well. If I get a minute, I get a minute now actually. I might just stick a few of the lads in. Because while I'm here and I've got like a good few people in the chat, let's big up a few of my friends. So big up to Dell. I know he's not in this chat, but big up to Dale. Go over and check him out. Link is there. And where's Mark's channel? Or D. And actually, D is live now. Actually, so a big D up. So for everyone in the chat, if you're new to this channel and you want to know some other good channels, I'll big these guys up now. So go over and check out Speaker Mind Sports Talk and D. There we go. Because we got 117 in here. So you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And you look after those who look after you. So there's a couple of my mates who have channels, and I want to big these guys up. So there's links to a couple of my mates' channels, all there. And if you guys could go and big them up. So we got Dell, D. Did I put Unrivaled? Yeah, I put Unrivaled there. Dell, D. And I already put links to Intangible and to Chris Broken Nose Boxing. If I'm missing anyone, apologies. But if you build it, there's it's like Devon said, if you build it, they'll come. And, you know, I give them, and look at that. You already got 4 new subs. There you go. Big up to Chris. There you go. Every time. Don't need to thank it. Don't need to thank me. It's big up to everyone. And it's like CGB says, big up in everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone in the chat, lads. You're doing a great job, mate. Keep the good work, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate all your help, man. Appreciate all you guys coming in here. Right. Who else we got? What do you think about future AJ? Right. If we see Fury versus Wilder 3, we are definitely seeing AJ versus Usyk, I reckon. I'm serious, lads. I'll go with Usyk in that fight. Seriously. I think that Usyk's movement will absolutely just annoy AJ, never end. I think he'll struggle like a motherfucker with that movement. Sorry, lads. 120 in the chat and 60 likes. I don't ask for much, lads, but if you could smash the like button on your way in, it'd be hell of appreciated. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm just trying to mess with my phone there. But yeah, appreciate everyone in the chat, man. 120 in the chat, man. It's fucking crazy. Huey Fury, Intangible's gone and done it. He's mentioned it. Huey Fury versus Marius whack garbage. Give Huey Fury a vicious body shot long range. Right. Man, Marius, that's going to be a snooze fest, right? If anyone has a missus and you're staying in with her to watch that fight, like to watch AJ versus Pulev, the minute that fight comes on, you got plenty of time. Bring your missus to bed and you won't be missing. You'll have better chance there. Usyk doesn't have to fight AJ, well, unless they order it. Usyk is the next big heavyweight. I think it could be. You think Usyk? I think Usyk will win against AJ. I think a lot of people think Usyk will win. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Graham Taylor, thank you. Don't think Usyk has the power, but is technically insane if he could. Man, you say that, right? Usyk's power is definitely underrated, right? And big up to BK, smash the like, exactly. But Usyk's power is criminally underrated. I mean, think of it like this, right? If you had said to me, right? If you said to me before I'd seen that clip, now I did say in the video I done about Dave Allen on Sunday that I suspected something happened in that camp whereby maybe he was schooled or maybe, he just took a bit of a beat and not necessarily dropped or like hurt badly, but I thought something like that might happen. I never thought that I'd see Dave Allen's legs go from an Usyk left hand. That was crazy. So Usyk can hit hard, I think. Usyk's power is underrated, I think. I think it's just that he's on his toes a lot and he's not sitting with full power. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But Usyk can punch, definitely. He's not fair. Put it like this, right? AJ wouldn't want to be leaving his chin out for Usyk to hit him with. But big up, G-Man. Let's go. Yes. Smash the like button. There we go. Del Boy has a good chin and was hurt and pushed back. Exactly. And people say, like, Chisora's only... Man, I'm telling you now. Chisora was hurt in that fight. That fight was a strange one because some people were like, if some people were like me who felt that actually, Usyk did very well. And, he outboxed Chisora. He survived a bit of a scare early on, but he done very well for himself. Whereas other people were like, no, we done crap. He done this, he done that, he done crap. So I was like, what did you expect? And they were saying, like, if AJ does that, like, he won't. AJ's not going to pressure Alexander Usyk like that. What's the next big fight in the heavyweight? Oh, man, it's got to be. If we're not talking about AJ Fury, then who else would it be? It has to be AJ Fury. Has to be AJ Fury. There's no... Usyk AJ will be a good fight. I'd like that. Delboy gave Usyk something to think about, popping the southpaw jab. AJ in 6 for you. Oh, wow. That's a big statement. I don't think it. We got Thomas Horn, aka Kim Jong-un. Great name. What the... Man, I'll never forget that chat where I had like Merkel and I had like Biden parody accounts in it. That was funny as fuck. You were impressed with both men. Could be. That what you're thinking for the scorecards for AJ? I think that was against Parker, wasn't it? We had real wide scorecards. Don't fancy Usyk taking bounce major, looked uncomfortable taking cover shots from Chisora. I think it was more so the fact he was getting ragdolled by Chisora that had him uncomfortable. I think that was more so the reason why he was uncomfortable in there. I don't necessarily think it was the fact that it was the punches. I think he was just uncomfy because he was like, shit, this guy's putting it on me. Usyk, good job. Oh, yeah, no doubt in my mind. Now that, unless it's another Rackman versus Lewis, AJ would win. No, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. How do you feel Tyson Fury scored Usyk? He scored a draw, did he? What was your scorecard? I think I had like 117, 111. I think I gave Chisora the first 2 rounds. I think I gave him another round in between. But that was it, really. That was it. For the rest of the fight, I thought it was just Usyk doing what he needed to do. We got Toby, one of the regulars. Salute G-Man and the chat. Yeah, salute G-Man and the chat, man. We got 125 in the chat, man. Fuck. Do you know what, right? I've seen channels with they're not even boxing channels with like 18, 20K subs. and they're doing like watch-alongs to events on TV. They don't even have that many people in their chats. So I'm thinking I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. You reckon Wilder could beat Pulev, Rivas, and maybe Povetkin and Whyte? I think you could beat all of them. All three, all four of them. I think you could beat them all. But I don't see him, likewise, I don't see him beating. The one I don't agree with is Ruiz. I think he beats Ruiz. No, I think he beats Ruiz. I'd be picking him against Andy Ruiz, definitely. Picking him against Andy Ruiz, definitely. Yeah, I think that was my general consensus. The third round was if you gave Chisora the third round, I won't argue with that. I'll let you have that if you gave Derek Chisora the third round. But they'd be the rounds I would have given to him. Every other round for me, it was Usyk, and it was Usyk comfortably enough, especially the seventh round. I really thought Usyk was going to get him out of there in that seventh round. I really did. Just the way he reacted, I thought he was going to get rid of him. If AJ fights Usyk like he fought Ruiz in the rematch, what's Usyk going to do? Cut him off? Don't think Usyk would dare try. He might, man. He might. You might give it a go. You never know. I would say, G-Man's Rocks, when you ready, you will get an interview with Josh Taylor. Man, I would fucking love an interview with Josh Taylor. Man, I would love an interview with Josh Taylor. If I got Josh Taylor on here, I'd do it on StreamYard. And StreamYard is the handy, is like, people say Skype is good for interview. Man, StreamYard is the best website to do interviews because I can get the chat in and you're not charged. Man, StreamYard would be the best for doing the interview. And the best thing about StreamYard is you can go backstage. So it's not like you're ringing someone and you literally you could go backstage, you could talk to someone and say, right, this is what you want to do, this, that, and the other. So, man, Josh Taylor, I'd love an interview with Josh Taylor. Big up to Josh Taylor, man. He is an absolute stand-up guy. Big up to him every time. But yeah, man, if I could get Josh Taylor on here, I would be so, so happy. So happy. What do you think Whyte Povetkin gonna go? Do you know what, right? We were meant to have the fight this weekend, right? Whyte Povetkin was meant to happen this weekend. If it had happened, no doubt in my mind, Povetkin would have won. No doubt in my mind, Povetkin would have won by knockout. But we're getting it in January now. If we're getting it in January, then I'm thinking Whyte will win. I'm definitely thinking Whyte will, just because Povetkin's getting older. I think Whyte will win. What boxer do you dislike the most? I can think of one who comes to my mind, but I ain't gonna name him because he's not big enough to be named on my channel, and I don't like him for a reason, because I said he'd lose a fight and he felt the need to email me a very rude email, and this is a man who should really know better. I ain't gonna name him on this channel, but I don't like him for a variety of reasons, not just because of that. I'm gonna leave it at that. So that's a boxer I don't like, right? And I'm sure most people in the chat know who I'm talking about, by the way. But in terms of other boxers, there's plenty of boxers I don't like. Like Sergey Kovalev, I wouldn't like because I think he's a bit scummy, but I'd watch him every time. I like watching Sergey Kovalev fight. Who else? Jarrell Miller, I really don't like because of all the crap with the drug test and all that. They're the fighters and all that, but that I have a guilty pleasure. I'd watch them fight. I don't really want to watch Jarrell Miller fight, but I don't hope he doesn't come back, is what I mean. But I would watch him if he came back. One of the guys in the chat, yeah, got that right. Got the answer to that first question right straight away. Salute G-Man in the chat. Salute to Jeff every time. Jeff, be a regular in one of these. So big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. You live around the corner from Josh Taylor. As I said, man, I would absolutely love to get Josh Taylor on here. Coach Asgar, what's the latest on Fury? Now we got Coach Asgar in the chat. Former coach of Tyson Fury. He was your assistant with Ben Davison. So big up to you. Big up to you. Coach Asgar, latest on Tyson Fury. Always happy to hear. Always happy to hear. Oh, you said it will be sorted, actually. Is that what you said? Man, if I get an interview with Josh Taylor, oh, man, that big up every single time. Big up, man. If I got that. You don't like Shakur Stevenson? I don't really mind him, to be honest with you. I suppose Bellew I don't like as well because he's full of something. He's full of shit. But Yeah, Shakur Stevenson, I wouldn't be too. I don't really mind him, to be fair. I don't really mind Shakur Stevenson. He just it's not really anything there that really I don't particularly like. One of the nicest guys in boxing is Wilder and Joseph Parker. Really, Joseph Parker always seems like a cool guy. To be fair, he always does seem like a bit of a cool guy. Tank seems a horrible person. Tank seems just to have an ego and just to be not all there. Miller's an idiot. Miller's a fool. All the failed drugs test, man, he's a fool. You see, I can see that, but at the same time, I'm just thinking, no, no, not if you get. I think he'll be. I think he'd be all right. I think he'd be all right. I think because it's got to be enough time is going to pass. So I think Dylan Whyte would probably be okay in the rematch because enough time's got past. I'm worrying about his concussion as well because he definitely got concussed from a right hand or from a shot like that. Definitely got a right hand. He definitely got a concussion from that. So I would say that if he had it this weekend, then the concussion still wouldn't be fully healed. But if you have it in January, you probably are all right. That's the big reason for me not having that option. What's the reason? I think I might have missed that. I probably no. Oh no. That's not a fan friendly fight. I clicked on that, but it wouldn't go. I was say Joseph Parker is too nice. It shows in the ring. He's a likable character, Joseph Parker. Like he seems an absolute gent outside the ring. But the problem is he seems to bring that into the ring as well. That's the only problem with Parker. But Parker is there's very few fighters I know, and there's very few. Is there even any big, like really big time fighters that I know? Not really. But from what I've seen, I would say that some of the cooler fighters that I've seen, and I think that they're cool. They seem like standout guys. Well, Josh Taylor definitely. But I always, irrespective of what Josh Taylor does on Twitter, I've always felt him as being a bit of a cool guy as well. Even prior to that, Fury seems like a cool guy, you know. Who else? There's a few fighters out there who just seem like real, like cool kind of guys that I'd hang around with, I want to associate with in terms of top level. They kind of be the guys I would. Who else? Luke Keeler. I know he's not massively big, but he seems like quite a cool guy. So yeah, those guys. Do you see big baby fight? Yeah, I do, unfortunately, because there's always loopholes, I suppose. There's always loopholes. There's always ways around those things. Crawler seems cool. He does, actually. Crawler seems like a real cool guy. Usyk and Parker be a great fight. I think that's a fantastic fight. You met a lot of boxers through coaches as there. They're all cool. Man, if I could meet some boxers through there, man, if I could get a chat with Josh Taylor, man, I would be the happiest G. We should fight Kalnaki, bat him at the battle of the fat guys. Parker, I need to do my prediction for that. I need to actually break that fight down. I really do. And as I says, there are some change to Parker. He'll be back. I think we're going to see Parker make a statement in this fight. That's what I think. I think we're going to see Parker make a statement in this fight. I think this is where we're going to hopefully see. I think this is where we're hopefully going to see Parker show what he can show. I think because I've never really rated Fat. Never really rated him. Why is no one hailing me? I feel like he's got a picture of Kim Jong Un, but his name Joseph Stalin. Great. Tyson, get ready for Wilder. Oh Jesus! I hope not. That I hope not. I really hope it doesn't happen then. I hope we get that fight, but damn, not in 2023. Latest early 2022, not 2023. Met Crawler after his retirement. Solid lad. He seems a solid lad. He really does. He really does. He seems like a solid guy. There's so many fighters out there. Like Bellew just doesn't seem. Bellew used to seem like a cool guy. Now he just seems like a real. Like, well, I shouldn't have called him that. It's Harley Quinn, Mr. J. That's what we call Bellew. We don't call him by his real name. I've given him the name Harley Quinn, and he's sticking with that. Yeah, Mr. J. When he sees Anthony Joshua, oh, Mr. J. Your thoughts on Bud Crawford? Love him. Love watching him fight. Fantastic fighter. Definitely in my top 3 pound for pound. I have number 2 behind Canelo. Number 2 behind Canelo Alvarez. That's my thoughts on Bud Crawford. 100% Crawford is very good. Boxers you'd like to chill with. Usyk, yeah, actually, no, I would like to meet Buzz Crawford. I will admit that as well. Loma, Parker, Mikey Garcia, Porter, Buatsi, etc. I'd like to meet them all. Usyk, definitely. Usyk, he's a character. I'd say Usyk probably one of my, even though he doesn't really speak a lot of English. Oh man, he's such a character. You just know you'd be entertained with him, irrespective of whether he's speaking English or not. There's an article in boxing thing where Wilder claims Fury fingernail. Really? What about the weight in the glove? So now it's fingernails. His nails are that long, are they? His nails are that long. You think? Sorry, I will read that. He knocked Bellew into the monastery missionary position. He knocked Harley Quinn. You think Harley Quinn is a good bloke? Just never talk to him about him. Do you know what, right? I'd actually say that Harley Quinn, if you talk to him about just normal this, that, and the other, it'd be fine. But the minute you start bringing up Matchroom guys, that's when you have the issues. Saying check my DM on Twitter. I will check it now. I never use Twitter. I don't have it highlighted, so I will check it now. I'll keep that quiet, but that is actually very good, what I just seen there, and I got to big you up for that. And if that goes well, then holy shit, I'll be a very happy guy. I'll be a very happy guy. I'll keep that on the DL, but appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Holy shit. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Every time, man. Big up to that. Man, I to think, right? I was like gonna stream at 8 o'clock, and then I was like, nah, I'm having a shit day. And I was like, I'm not gonna stream. Then I said, nah, fuck it, I'll stream. Amen to that, lads. Amen to that. Amen to that. Harley Quinn, aka Bellew. Yeah. That's what I call ever since he's been top of AJ, it's just been like Mr. J. And I just thought Harley Quinn at one time. I was like, oh yeah, Mr. J. Mr. J. You think Usyk has power for heavyweight, but don't think he can take guys. Will they catch him? Will they catch him? Watch the space. Watch the space. Wilder fans are like Trump supporters. They're completely deluded. Wilder fans are just, they're in another world, lad. They're in another world. Oh, when I say that, look at that. Imagine Teddy Atlas and John Fury getting into a heated debate on, man, that would be funny as hell. That would be funny as hell. Oh my God, Teddy Atlas, man. Oh no. Man, that could end in tears. That will end in tears. That will end in tears, man. That will definitely end in tears. Lads, as good as this live stream has been, I only wanted to do an hour, right? And I kind of don't want to leave it here because we've got 124 in the chat, right? But what I'll do, right? I want to big up someone, right? I want to do this. I'm going to call it here, right? But before I go, right, one of my mates is streaming right now. I want to big this guy up as well. I've already put a link in his chat to his, but if some of you guys could pop over and see one of my mates, D, he's streaming currently right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the link in the chat in 2 secs. I just want to check one quick thing first. I think someone said that they've announced, no, not announced it yet. But I'm going to pop the link in this chat here, and I'm going to call it quits here, lads, right? I didn't even pop the link in the chat. What am I doing? So yeah, if you guys could pop over to one of my mates, D, he's streaming live now. He's got a panel on. I'm going to call this live stream quits here, right? But I want to big up everyone in the chat, right? Everyone in the chat. We got 118 in the chat. How many likes did we get in this stream, actually? So I want to check this, man. This been a fun stream, right? This been probably one of my better streams ever. So we got 81 likes. Big up every time. So I want to big up a few guys before I go. Big up to Devon. Got some good news, G man. Got very good news, G man. Good to see the channel going places, man. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Godspeed, everyone. Graham Taylor. Big up to everyone, right? I'm gonna pop over to the stream. I'm gonna have a listen. So you might see me in the comment section. And lads, I'm gonna call it quits here. Big up to everybody. Hashtag G-Man's rocks better be trending, by the way. Hashtag G-Man's rocks better be trending. I'm gonna make sure someone says that actually when I get him on here. I'm gonna make sure someone says that. But big up to Harley Quinn. Big up to Harley Quinn, lads. I'm gonna call it here. Big up to absolutely everyone. 170 in the chat. Big up to everyone, lads. I'll probably do another live stream the weekend, okay? So big up to all yous, lads. Appreciate it. I'll talk to yous, lads. Peace.